Welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of This Week in Tiger Athletics, where we discuss the events occurring in Fort Hays State Athletics. As always, I am joined with the Assistant Athletic Director of External Operations, Matt Cook.
Hey, Boomer, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
And the Sports Information Director, Ryan Prickett.
Hey, Boomer. How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's start with a little bit of a review. Let's start with the basketball teams.
Okay. Well, yeah, the basketball teams, the women had a good week on the road. Went out, got a couple of wins that they needed to get against teams that are struggling in conference play right now, and kind of won an ugly game at Lincoln. It was one of those games where you felt like we could pull away and win that one by like 20 or 30, but for whatever reason, we just couldn't quite sustain, those bursts of, the shots we needed to have go in to get that lead extended. And Lincoln kind of hung around all night, and we kind of just took care of business there at the end of the game. But then on against Lindenwood on Saturday, our women really played extremely well, shot the ball really well. Offense was really clicking. I think that's probably the best offensive performance we've had in quite a while. So hopefully that's something, it's a good sign going into these harder games against teams that we're going to play from the west side of the conference for a second time. So hopefully that's one of those games that just kind of leapfrogs us into some success here in February. And then on the men's side, like I said last week, those were going to be two tough road games, and we just didn't quite get the job done in either of them. Lincoln shot the ball extremely well from beyond the three-point line, and we didn't provide much resistance late in that game, so that score kind of got further out there as far as the final margin than we really wanted. And then Lindenwood game, we had a lead early, and then we just made some mistakes towards the end of the first half, let the lead slip away, and then Lindenwood just kind of took control of things in the second half, got too far away from us. We hit some shots late, but it was just too little too late. So it's one of those things where now it's important to come back to your home floor and hopefully continue that success we've had at home this year.
And another huge headline, Nathan Shepard rubbing shoulders with the likes of Baker Mayfield and athletes of that sort at the Reese's Senior Bowl, and he made quite a statement for himself and put himself on the radar.
Yeah, he did. He only got to be there for 2 days, but because he broke his hand in practice on Tuesday, Wednesday. They started practice on Tuesday that week, and yeah, he made a heck of a statement, came out, did really well against some of the premier linemen of Division I, and really raised some eyebrows on the sidelines. People were like, whoa, who's this guy? And all of a sudden, Fort Hays State was blowing up, the Twitterverse, basically. We had people like Nathan Shepard of Fort Hays State, or a small college kid, Nathan Shepard, So it was kind of a cool thing to see him mentioned in there with the major D1 athletes, and hopefully this will just be a minor setback for him, a broken bone in a hand. Probably not something that's, like one of those deals where it's not a knee, it's not something that's going to be long-term and really ruins his chances. This is something that should heal fairly quickly, hopefully, and he may have a shot to participate in the NFL Combine in early March, and then the NFL Draft's coming in late April, so hearing good things out there so far via the national media, so we'll see if we get a player drafted. So
pretty exciting.
Yep.
The track and field teams, how'd they do this weekend?
Well, track did really well, especially on the men's side. We had 5 athletes hit provisional marks. Dean Cronin and Brett Meyer both won their distance races. They're 2 of our strong hitters in the distance events, and they both qualified for indoor nationals last year. Dean just didn't get to go because he got ill right before nationals, but Brett's an All-American, and so those are 2 guys that did really well for us. Pole vaulting, Jake Morrow, Sam Dreiling, they improved their marks nationally. And so they're up in the top 15 in that event in the nation. And then also Kyle Comstock broke our school 60-meter hurdle indoor record, so and got a provisional mark in the process. So then on the women's side, our distance medley relay team broke the school record as well. So that was kind of the biggest highlight on the women's side this week.
And now we're going to get to the upcoming events, and then we'll head to the promotions. I know Matt Cook's He's waiting.
I'm ready to go here.
So,
Okay.
upcoming for the home basketball games against Emporia State and Washburn.
Yes, Emporia State, Washburn, big week for us here at home. Just seeing what the standings are right now on the women's and the men's side. These are crucial games as far as trying to attain one of those higher seeds in the MIAA tournament. Everybody's trying to battle to get one of those top 4 seeds in the tournament to try and get to Kansas City without having to play an opening round game. And so the women and the men, this is kind of go time now. This is when you're going to play the teams in the west side of the conference for a second time. Central Oklahoma and Northeastern we haven't seen yet, but we're going to play those home and away in back-to-back weeks. So they're coming up yet. But on the women's side, it looks like a very tough slate coming up. The west side of the conference is a lot stronger as a whole. So these are all going to be really good games on that side. And like I said, the men just have to take care of the home floor advantage right now, and then we got to figure out how to win games on the road. So, but in-state rivals this week, Emporia, Washburn, it's always a big deal here at Fort Hays, and it's always an electric atmosphere. So we hope to see as many people out there as possible.
And
Go ahead.
and the promotions for the basketball games, looks like we have plenty of them for this week.
Yeah, yep. Wednesday night we have Emporia State coming in. Those games start at 5:30 and 7:30. And over time in Hays, the Wednesday night's a church night. For most churches, so they have all their local youth groups will meet. So we thought, hey, let's give them a call, see if they want to come out to the Coliseum and just have their youth group come out to the game, instead of meeting at their church, and they can still spend time together and spend time with other church groups who will all be there. So we're kind of having that. It's going to be a little church night there in the Coliseum. So we already have about 7 or 8 groups lined out to come up. So and we could have more coming out this week. So that should be fun. And then on Saturday, we play Washburn. Those games are at 2 and 4, and that's actually going to be our Senior Citizen Day. So it's a little discount on tickets for seniors 65 and older. You actually get a $5 general admission ticket to the game. And then we're also going to have basketball bingo. So those bingo cards will be at every entrance when you come in. So ask for the bingo card, and it just has different things on there throughout the game. Like it has, maybe Fort Hays makes a half-court shot, or number 24 makes both their free throws, or just different things you have to pay attention. Once it happens, you mark it off your board. Turn that card in once you get a bingo, and you get a free popcorn from the concession stand. So that's basketball bingo. And then I just wanted to remind the students again about our student loyalty program. We've been doing that for the last couple games. And the student crowd has been better. But we have 5 home games left. You swipe your Tiger card when you get there before halftime of the women's game. Swipe your Tiger card when you leave after the men's game is over, and that qualifies you as an entry into the game. So we're tracking that. If you get 3 of them, you get a free Jimmy John's sandwich. If you come to 5, you get a free T-shirt. And if you come to 7, you get entered in to win a trip to the MIAA tournament. So students, we want to have you out there. We want it to be loud, and especially playing Emporia and Washburn this week.
Yeah,
it's in-state rivalries, it's a lot of fun. So come on out and make some noise.
Definitely. And aside from basketball, what else is going on in the world of Tiger athletics?
Well, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on this week. A lot of it's going to be on the road, obviously. Basketball is about the only thing at home, but we have 2 of our spring sports starting up this weekend. We have baseball. They're going down to Texas, and softball is starting their season out in Colorado. So we're going to see a couple of 3-game series there. We'll see how our teams open up this week. And then wrestling's got a big week on the road as far as conference duels. These are 2 big duels for them to hopefully get themselves up there a little higher in the standings. We haven't won a conference match yet. We're 0-2, but matches at Central Missouri and Lindenwood, they're also kind of struggling this year right now in duels. So we're going to hopefully go and get some wins there. And then track and field, they're heading up to Nebraska and going to do a little split squad this week. Half of them, or maybe some of them, will be in Lincoln, and then the other rest of them will be in Kearney. So we'll just see how that all splits out, and Coach will send kids, where he wants to place them this week. So,
all right, sounds like a fun week for FHSU athletics, and that'll do it for this week's edition of This Week in Tiger Athletics. Many thanks to Matt Cook and Ryan Prickett for their time, and we can't wait to hear more from them next week.
Thanks.
And
Thank you.
I'm Boomer Sabata saying goodbye and go Tigers.